let's go. Let's see here, guys. A few things. I'm going to get into the game. I'm going to do a little recap on some of the prizes. Going to give a few things away real fast, but I hope everybody's doing well. I want to thank the sponsors real fast. Crossbreed Holsters, Riton Optics, Kenzies, and of course, I can't forget the Taurus for giving away the 1911. I can't thank them enough. Taurus was kind enough to give away a 1911. So give it a minute for a few people to get in here. So a few things. I want to take a minute. I want to thank the sponsors to everybody coming in. Riton Optics, Kenzies, Crossbreed Holsters, and of course, Taurus for the 1911. We get some prizes tonight. The website is up. www.johnbartoloshow.com. The website is up. So if you get a minute, check out the website. I know everybody's kind of filing in here and kind of getting organized. So I want to go over a few things. We talked about the game. We talked about a whole slew of things yesterday. It got wild. I'm going to do a quick recap with everybody and get into some questions. That was an awesome giveaway yesterday. Thanks to all the sponsors. Yes, I want to thank everybody. And I want to thank Grey Ghost for coming in with some prizes. We'll give a few prizes away today. But I want to thank everybody who jumps in. I have a lot of companies that jump in and they're helpful, and I'm going to be talking to them about long-term sponsorship. That means you, BB, and getting more involved, on a regular basis. It's not always about the prizes. We want to get into some topics and everything else, but the prizes are fun. I want to talk about the game for a quick second. I'm probably going to get probably going to get Grey Ghost. My favorite bag they make is the bag. BB, what's the name of it? The bag that folds into itself. That's my favorite bag. Maybe we'll give one of those away pretty quickly, pretty early. But I want to get into the game. I want to get you guys' thoughts on the game. Well, everyone gets in here. The Sport Ball Championship game. Yeah, and I have some thoughts on it. I talked to a friend of mine. We're going to get into a little bit of a controversial subject. But I want to get into it. So a friend of mine refuses to watch the game. He's a federal employee. He refuses to watch it. And he refuses to watch it because of the whole kneeling deal. Now, I had a different take on it. He respects my take. We respect each other's take on it. But we got into the debate of it. And I tried explaining some things to him on my thought process on why I support it. And yes, and I'd like to get BB's thoughts on why I kind of tweaked my support for it. I've tweaked it a little bit, but I still support the community aspect of it and the get-together. So I want to get people's thoughts in this community, in the 2A, community, and kind of get some understanding of kind of where you guys are at, and how you support, why you support, all the above. So, I know everyone will have some thoughts. I just think the game has gotten ridiculous with the penalties and the rule changes. Yeah, Scott, a lot of that's put in to protect the players. I get that. I think a lot of it does become like what we call ticky-tack, a lot of ticky-tack stuff. But you have to understand something, that post-concussion syndrome is real. It does exist. The community, lost a great guy, the CEO and owner of a camo. Why am I drawing a blank? The camo company. I'm drawing a blank on it, and I don't know why. God, why am I drawing a blank? Anyone want to jog my memory? See, KUIU. BB's going to jump in. I want to get his thoughts. So we're going to get BB from Grey Ghost and Tack Taylor and get his thoughts on this. There he is.
What's up, brother?
So I had a long talk with a federal employee buddy of mine. He's high level, works for an agency. And he served overseas, and he refuses to watch. And his big beef in it is that the athletes don't understand what the flag stands for and all that. And I know we've had this debate 100 times, and I keep trying to tell him he's got to put it in a filing cabinet. You know what I mean? He has to file it away. Maybe, you show your solidarity by not supporting or buying the products or things like that. But I still, I said it the other day on the podcast, I still support the community aspect of the game and how it brings people together. And it was nice to hang out with some friends and watch the game. What's your take on it, and where do you stand on it?
So I get where your friend comes from, and being a person who, served for 10 years, I think that everyone has their own opinion and is entitled to their opinion. I got into football at a young age because of my parents. I'm from Tampa Bay, so I'm a diehard Tampa Bay fan. My parents got married in 1996 on the 50-yard line with 200 other couples. You can look it up. It's Tampa Bay versus Atlanta Falcons.
I remember you telling me.
So I grew up watching football my entire life, and I still love watching it. And to me, it's like you said, it's to get together with friends and family and watch a game. Whether the game is good or bad, it's just another excuse to get people to.
You with that? Are you like, okay, that's your jam? Or are you
I think it's good that people are making decisions for themselves. If he decides like, hey, this professional multi-million-dollar athlete, doesn't recognize how good he has it, like, that's okay. Like, I think we should be more tolerable and understandable for somebody that has an extreme left or an extreme right view on anything. Like, it's something that I think we need to be better about, talking to. Like, me and you should be able to have a discussion on politics and religion and still be good friends at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah. And, he was cool about it. We debated a couple of points on it. But I guess what we're getting at is the lingering effect of it. The long-term effect, the Kaepernick effect, I guess, if you want to call it.
With that, the whole Kaepernick thing, I'm like, I'd like to say I'm indifferent, but like, if they play the national anthem stand up, I get what he was trying to do, and good on him for trying to do something. Not that I support it, but at least he was doing what he thought was right. And that's all I want at the end of the day is somebody to make their own decisions. We live in a country where, you can believe in anything you want to. So he believed that, African Americans were being, mistreated in today's society from law enforcement individuals. And that's why he decided to, do what he did. So
where do you stand on it?
It's a professional sports game, and they're, playing the national anthem, and being a person that, within the rules and regulations of what I had to do, I had to stand up, stand straight, hands perpendicular to marching surface, my other hand in a salute, for 10 years, anytime the national anthem was played, whether I was in uniform or not. So, and, I had pride doing it.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's really a tough one from many aspects. I see all sides of it. I don't disagree with people's stance on it. But I'm the kind of guy I don't take a hard line on almost anything. I do, but not, what I try to explain to people is you have to understand something. Right or wrong, these athletes, they've been having their ass wiped, for a long time. They've been told they're the greatest thing since sliced bread for 4 years before high school, because they were probably studs before high school, for 4 years during high school, and for 4 years during college. It's a very different mindset than the mindset of working from the bottom, like a blue line or a mill guy, and kind of grinding their way through and making that choice in choosing the patriotic choice. So they see themselves as making a social stance. And that's what I was trying to, impart upon him a little bit. Not because I thought it was right, not because I thought it was wrong. I was just more trying to get him to understand, hey, these guys are coming from a different angle. All you can do is educate them. And I think that's what I forget who it was. I believe it was a Ranger, BB. It was someone that educated Kaepernick, and then he decided to take the knee. That's what he was doing.
He was a Special Forces guy.
Special Forces guy.
Yeah, he said instead of, boycotting it, respectfully take a knee.
Mm-hmm. And that was what led to all this. Now, I don't condone it. I don't think it's right. I don't think I've taken my own way, my own approach of kind of, I guess when I look at the products now, I'm not buying the products like I used to. But like you, I grew up watching the sport. I supported the sport. I've been around the sport. But this Kaepernick effect is kind of really, it's real. It's there. It's lingering. And it's going to stick around for a little while. So I didn't realize how prevalent or how much it was still there. I don't agree with the glamorization of him. They had some clips and some snippets, and they've kind of turned him a little bit into a martyr, the league, and I think that's a mistake. And I think the league made a lot of mistakes in how they handled it. So that's a little bit of my take on it. I think Goodell should have stepped up very early.
No, it's a great point. Like you hit the nail on the head with what you just said. Like it's a crazy effect that's going on, and everyone's just jumping on it to be a part of it.
Yeah. And, I wanted to get your take on it because you're a guy who's been there and done that. And, I think this will be lingering for a little while. And I didn't realize. And he was an Army guy, high level. And, now he works at an agency. And he brought up a lot of really good points. And, we debated it. And I said I in no way think it's right. I'm in no way advocating that I think it's like this proper thing to be doing. I don't think that, but I think that you have to respect that he has the right to do it, but the league should have stepped up sooner to squash it. The league did a disservice there, and the league should have stepped up and said, hey, you know what? If you don't want to support it, this is what we require of you, and we're taking money from military, I believe they're paid by the Navy and the Army, I believe, not the Marine Corps, I forget. But the U.S. Armed Forces does pay the NFL, make no mistake.
They pay to be able to, send people there to do, like, re-enlistments, do the flag ceremonies, all that kind of stuff.
They're selling the brand, and they're selling the brands. And that's what it is. They have, the military has high-profile marketers, believe me, and they do that. I just didn't realize how much that effect was still out there and how prevalent it really was. I explained to him when I first, decided to go to the academy and things like that, I did it more for the sense of community because I had come from that football coach background and I want to give back to my community and volunteer and do whatever I could to volunteer. Mine came from a sense of community, not patriotism. And I guess that's maybe the difference, BB, in the civilian Leo side to the military side. You guys enlist and join because of the flag, you know what I mean? You don't swear an oath necessarily to the country when you're in law enforcement. You do, but you swear an oath to the community, the county, and the township. So it's a little different. A lot of guys get into it for different reasons, and they start out in the jails, and they start out in the local community, and they want to support the community. So it's similar but different in that sense. So getting his take and getting him having an in-depth conversation with me about it, because I really didn't understand why he didn't celebrate it at all, but he made the point incredibly clear. So I can't thank you enough, though, and for supporting last night. That was awesome, giving away a plate carrier. We had Semi-Auto Kid win a plate carrier.
It got shipped out today. Anytime you need something, let us know. We're always here to support you and all your wonderful misadventures of John Bartolo.
So, yeah. And BB was one of the guys, when I wanted to reboot this, it was, he was one of the, Suresh talked about it the other day. He was one of the guys that stepped right up and was like, let me know what you need. Let me know how I can help. And, I wanted to kind of bring this back, and I'm not going to be able to do it every night. I wanted to get 20, 30 episodes out there quick for you guys because I felt like there was a lot to talk about. Here's one question from a guy. To all the Patriots haters and Trump haters out there, I strongly disagree with your ignorance, but I still love you and I'm praying for your healing. That's good. I thought it was a good game, BB. Yeah, that's good. We'll go on a positive note. I thought it was a fun game. It was a little boring, but it was great to see a defensive battle for once in the big game. And just bravo. I mean, you can't argue with what Brady's done and how fun that was to watch.
My favorite part was while I was watching the game, I was constantly thinking about you and your live stream yesterday of how you thought we're due for a high scoring Super Bowl game.
Yeah, I was off.
And I was like, he jinxed it. He jinxed it.
I was way off. So some guy, I always look at the boards, and I was going to talk about this in the live.
Did the guy call it?
The Patriot. Some guy in Vegas lost $2.4 million.
Wow.
That was the biggest bet. Yeah, that was the biggest bet. But don't feel bad for him. I guess he's up $20 million on the year.
Jeez.
It's an undisclosed party, but there was $2.4 million bet on the Rams.
Who does that?
Professional gamblers.
Well, I mean, if he lost 2.4 mil, I can't imagine whatever the odd ratio was. So if the Rams would have won, he could have walked away with 10 mil.
He bet the money line. Yeah, he bet the money line on the Rams. And in betting the money line on the Rams, he had an opportunity, I believe, to walk away with something like 2.7 to his 2.4. So he would have cleared 2.7 million or something like that because it was 120. You got to bet 120 to win 100. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, that guy's a professional gambler. Don't feel bad for him. He had something like over 180 bets throughout the year on NFL.
Yeah, he'll make it up eventually.
Yeah, I wouldn't cry for him. But thank you for jumping on. I wanted to get your thoughts, and I mean, it's nice to hear perspective on it all. And you're always welcome on here, and hopefully, maybe at the end of the week, we can get you back on, and we'll do some fun stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate the time, and then as always, anytime you need a giveaway, just let us know. We're good for it. So thanks for your time, brother.
Mm-hmm. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. So there you have it, BB. From Grey Ghost and Tack Taylor. BB's always a big supporter. I wanted to get his thoughts on it for a quick second. Always supporting the cause. So it was an interesting take, and we debated a couple other things, and I wanted to get into this. We were talking a little bit about the salary cap error, and we were talking about a bunch of things. And he also, he referred to them as, you like this shirt, Denny? This should make a lot of sense to you. We referred to, he said they're entitled athletes because of how much they get paid. But I said, they have to be paid the high compensation that they make. I said, you have to understand that their career is so short, and they have to try to cram in a lifetime of income in the event that they don't work again, or they don't have the ability to work again in a normal function, because they're being asked to do something that's above and beyond athletically, and it may affect them later in life. We can get into the debate all day long about how teachers and athletes and different people should be paid that much, but they have to fight for the most pay. I use the example all the time, like Alex Rodriguez. If he doesn't fight for the most pay that he can get from a team, it affects the person below them. Just like in any industry, if somebody isn't always pushing that ceiling for pay, it hurts them later on. It affects them. And it affects, how much money they could potentially make. Like the number one guy has to fight for the most money he can to help the number two guy and the number three guy. And that's what causes that. So from an economic standpoint, NFL players are underpaid. That makes most people upset, but the skill needed. Okay, so that's a great point, CJ. They are underpaid in many, many ways. And we can break that down and debate it and turn it sideways and talk about it till the cows come home tomorrow. But I'd like to see that ceiling pushed with MMA, I'm sure MMA guys would love to see it. I think it's like the top MMA guys are the guys that make all the money. So I try to explain to people that ceiling has to be pushed. It's like in our business. I get super upset, and Tony's seen this, and other guys have seen this from me. I get super upset when people come in and they're willing to work and do marketing and do brand development for free muzzle brake. Because what that does is it affects the market. It affects what everybody gets paid below them. So we have to fight and scrap and, for every penny we can get, because it's driving the market. It's driving the market. So I try to explain that to people. It's really important that they understand that you're affecting the marketplace. My father has been a teacher for 48 years. He's in the union. He's 3 months off in the summer and isn't taking hits in the hallway. So pay athletes what they should be paid. It's a good point. It's a good point. I think teachers are grossly underpaid. When I first got out of college, my first gig was a teaching gig. So, I was coaching football and teaching and trying to string a paycheck together when I first got out of school. But there it is. Can you imagine if there was a salary cap on the music industry? Oh, yeah, great song, Travis Scott, but $2 million is the cap on a rap song. That's true, and that's why these players' unions fight for a lot of things. They fight for a lot of different things. And what people don't realize is the things that they're fighting for are, multiple things that will affect them long-term in life, over time. It's really important that they fight for those things. Pensions, health care. I mean, in the past, NFL players, it's only the last 25 years that NFL players have been compensated on a level that they may not have to work for the rest of their life. Now, people say, oh, well, that's only, an X amount of career. It's a short window. It's not. It's 4 years before college, 4 years before high school, 4 years of high school, 4 years of college. So by the time they get to the NFL, and the average lifespan, the average career is like 3.5 years of an NFL player. By the time they get there, they've already put in 20 years. They've already put in 20 years. It's like people want me to take, 10 years of the firearms business out of my brain and implant it into someone else's brain, and they want me to do it for $100. Can't do that. You can't do that. I have a responsibility to those that come after me and everybody else, and support them, and help them grow, So it's important. The pay is off for schooling. There's 3 master's degrees for 7 years. Yeah, the pay is definitely off for schooling. I think for teachers, I think if you're a teacher, after 5 years of teaching, I believe this. After 5 years of teaching, they should dissolve all your school bills, your college bills. I believe that. That I believe, absolutely. Because that's a public service. Teaching and coaching, make no mistake, is a public service. There's no question about it. No question. So there I am. I'm going to say it. So I don't care how controversial, socialist that sounds. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. That's what I think. 48 years and he's still going, can't stop, likes touching lives. Yeah, it's important. It's important. I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. No doubt. No doubt. So hopefully everybody understands where I'm coming from, and I want to be clear about that. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if anyone else has any thoughts on it. I'm going to leave it there for a minute and talk about the game for a quick second. And we'll get to some other cool stuff and some conversations I had with companies today. So super cool deal I had today. I had watching the game was it was nice to see Julian Edelman get honored. I talked about some of the all-time greats on the Patriots, and people, Denny, you brought this up, that they haven't had many Hall of Famers. Richard Seymour was up, and I know Ty Law got in deservingly so. and we got into the debate about Gronkowski and Edelman, and I think Edelman's a Hall of Famer. Somebody else actually on one of the NFL shows said he's a Hall of Famer, hands down, and he is. He is. And people say, well, that's only the playoffs or whatever, but the body of work of what he's done, and that's what the Hall analyzes, is insane. Is insane. What's up, Wild Country Tactical? Is insane. So, you know, my hat's off to him. I mean, when you put a body of work together, and that's what you have to look at with people. So I want to do that. You need people to go over to your post. Wild Country Tactical is doing a giveaway, it looks like, on his page. So if you want to get involved with that, head over to Wild Country Tactical. Looks like he's got something going on. If someone tries to debate with me about touchdown Tommy being the greatest, no, I think that's done, CJ. That's done. That's over. I would let that go. I would let that one go. I think it's over. I think the Tom Brady debate ended last year. Regardless of his loss in the Super Bowl after the 8th appearance, I think people closed the book on that. And I think this year it's that's done. I agree with Knox. That debate's over. We're into cast goes down as some of the greats of all time, and I think there's a few. There's no doubt there's a few guys that will go down with him as some of the greats of all time. Tyrese, I don't go live with people I don't know, so I apologize. Appreciate you trying to jump in. But if I don't know you, I typically don't go live with you. So I want to do, I've been thanking everybody for the Podbean downloads. Thank you for heading over to Podbean and downloading and taking a minute to download. Thank you to everybody for leaving the iTunes reviews, the 5-star reviews on iTunes. It's greatly appreciated. The more reviews you can leave on iTunes, guys, tap 5 stars. Thank you for doing it. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. We're up to 83 ratings on it. I'd like to get it over the 100 mark. So any help you can be over there or anything you can do is greatly, greatly appreciated. But I want to talk about YouTube for a second. If everybody can take a minute to head over to YouTube and make sure you're subscribed, tap subscribe, and make sure that you leave a YouTube comment or leave a YouTube thumbs up. So those thumbs up are huge, and make sure you go to some of the old episodes and leave comments. I appreciate it. I'm going to actually pick a winner for a contest based on the YouTube comments tonight. So I'm going to head over to YouTube, and I'm going to be watching, and I'm going to pick one off the old episodes. So if you go to my YouTube, go to YouTube and tap in my name and head over to my YouTube, you'll see the icon. Go leave some comments over at YouTube, and I'll be watching them. And just comment on my last post, done, after you've did it. So I'm going to start that up now, and we'll run that. Head over. I got some shirts and some stuff. Subscribe and comment. And comment done. So leave some comments, Tyrese, and then say done on my last post. Yeah, on YouTube, Dima. So I want to talk about the firearms business and appeal to you guys on something. So everybody agrees, and this has been debated in the firearms business over and over again, that they're sick and tired of the gun bunny culture and the studio gangster and whatever. So, on the old thumbs up, I'm going to give you guys time to troll around YouTube. But everybody comments on that stuff. Here's my thing, guys. This is why, this platform and moving people over to this platform and you guys participating in this platform is so critical. Because it'll change all that. Because you can't hide on whether it's YouTube or podcast. I have to be here with you. So if you have a question or you have a comment, Yeah, you can go to YouTube now, CJ. I'm on there broadcasting live, so you're watching the same deal on YouTube. So you have to do this. You have to engage with folks. So it's different. Instagram is just quick. It's a quick hit. So I'm trying to, get you guys to kind of pay attention a little bit to some of this and take this over to a platform where you actually have to have a conversation. Now, Knox says, stop following that shit. Otherwise, it reinforces people being gun bunnies. Knox, I've said this over and over again. Be careful who you follow and who you hit like to and who you subscribe to. I've said it over and over and over again in here. And I've said it over and over again everywhere that I could. So, you need to pay attention to that. And a lot of guys support a lot of stuff in this business, and it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. It doesn't pass the sniff test with me. And I'm just like, why? But this is a free world. You can follow what you want. You can pay attention to what you want. You can be influenced by what you want. And if that's your choice or that's your deal, your jam, then so be it. But I'm trying to bring you a new medium. I'm trying to force this business to take a long look at itself by bringing a different forum to the table here. And just showing people, hey, we don't have to be stuck on the tit of Instagram. And I think that that's a mistake. I think that's part of the problem, is culturally, and I'm having conversations with these companies, and they're very open to the change. They want to see the change. So the more you push that medium, and the more you push stuff like this, the more it's going to force people out of hiding. Thanks, Kate Marshall. I don't know. I like the tit, just saying. Yeah, it's going to force people out of hiding and force people to pay attention. And I'm gonna read something that ties into the game too. Why everybody hates the Patriots. Here's the top list. The number one reason, jealousy. Jealousy. A sports psychologist who works for New York Sports Counseling Service told me that perceived imbalance and lack of fairness with regard to the Patriots' dominance is key. People in general have a desire for things to be fair, and when it seems unfair, they're angry and spiteful. It seems unfair how often they make the Super Bowl. Other teams should get a quote-unquote chance. Nobody likes a team that wins too much. And I've said this over and over again, and this goes for people too. People love the rise and they love the fall. And I think that speaks to haters. Everybody wants to support you when you're climbing, but when you get there, nobody wants to see you there anymore. Oh, fuck them. Oh, they have what I want. Fuck them. Blah, blah, blah. You have to cut that shit out. And I know I told a lot of you about this. 2019 is a lot about me cutting a lot of that crap out. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And we'll do stuff like this where I'll do giveaways on YouTube, and then I'm on Twitter too, so send people to Twitter. But yeah, take a minute, comment on all the old posts and thumbs up, and take a minute to watch them. Take a minute to watch them. And share it. Share them on your Facebooks. Just tap share. Share them on your Facebooks, and I'm going to give a few prizes away. But I want everybody to know that that's real. That's a real thing. We'll stop paying players that are all about themselves. The Pats are good because they play for each other. Yeah, I don't think it's a pay thing, Knox. I don't see it as a perceived pay thing. Not so much about pay. So I think they should get paid as much as the market dictates. I don't think the owners, because if they don't get paid, then the owners make all the money. So, and I am on Twitch too. So I appreciate everybody who heads over there. Someone went over there and subscribed. A few people did. I put it up on Twitch. And I'm seeing some of the subscribers come through now on YouTube. So that's my thoughts, guys. If you don't like the Gun Bunny stuff and you don't like the studio gangster stuff and you want to see a change, okay, step up. Step up and support the things that invoke the change. Antonio Brown and people like him only want to check. They don't care about winning. I don't know that that's true. I don't know that that's true, Knox. I'm not being hard on you. I think Antonio Brown, I think Mike Tomlin is breeding a very bad culture in Pittsburgh. It's my belief that Pittsburgh should have won 2 or 3 championships with Roethlisberger. I think Roethlisberger is the second or third, probably third best quarterback in that class. You know, I think it goes Brady, Breeze, Roethlisberger. But I think for a long time, that whole pro player, players coach mentality goes a long way. They should get paid based on their performance. Ted Williams once refused a salary because he had a bad season. I hear that, Dima, but that's a whole different generation and a whole different kettle of fish. I mean, back then they weren't making the life-changing money that they're making now. But you know, I think it's just different. You know, he does that, and it actually that can have a negative systemic problem too. Then you know, you have the guy who's only making 50, and Teddy Ballgame looks over at him and he's like, "You should give up your pay too." But that means the difference between him putting food on his table and for his family. So it's a totally different mentality. I'm not saying Ted Williams is wrong, but that's a hard sell. You know, I think in Pittsburgh, I think there is a little bit of a toxic culture, and everybody's quick to condemn the players. You know, I've worked in toxic cultures before. I've been around toxic cultures. The firearms business is rife with toxic culture. CJ, you can leave comments on the old YouTubes. The old YouTubes. That's what I'm looking for. I'm going to go to the old ones shortly and pick some winners. So head over to the old YouTubes. You know, put them on, leave a comment, come back, comment done on my last post. Done and tag somebody, or done and done. So, yeah, I mean, you have to understand some environments are toxic. I'm not saying Antonio Brown's right, but some work environments can be toxic. Some people can be toxic. Some people can breed a toxic culture. You know, some of my issues have been through the years is I like to work day and night. When I turn these machines on and I go, this is after a 5 or 8 or 10 hour day of work and working with companies and designing brand messages. It's, for me, you know, I'm always trying to feed the meter, whether it's for myself personally, professionally, for you guys, for the industry, and continue to push forward. So I think it's really important that people understand, you know, some people aren't going to work to the level you want them to work to. And I'm guilty of that. 100%. Everywhere I've been. You know, I like to go 1,000,000 miles an hour. You know, that's just how I am. I like that. It's important to me. It's important. So, if you're over at YouTube right now, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. It means a lot. It means a ton. So thank you. Please. Appreciate it. Subscribe and could leave a comment for some reason. You should be able to. You should definitely be able to. Not sure why. But hopefully everybody's, you know, kind of understanding where I'm coming from with some of that stuff. It's you know, a lot of work. It's not easy. It's not easy to do, but I think people get it. I think people see it and reward hard work. I think I did everything right. If I think let me know so I can go back and try again. Kate, I'm sure you're fine. We're not taking a hard line here, but yeah, if you can, make sure that you get in there and you leave the comments. So I tried like 6 times. It kept telling me, well, keep trying. Let me know. Sounds like something your computer might be going crazy. Hopefully it's okay. Hopefully. Trying to read the questions and keep up with you guys. I'm trying to update everything on YouTube. Can we leave more than one review on podcasts? I've 5-starred numerous times. No, but head over to Podbean, Cassie, and download all the episodes. That helps too. If you head over to Podbean, that helps a ton. So Podbean would be the next vestige. So head over there. Podbean helps too, guys, getting all the downloads on Podbean. So, and again, like I said, this platform, guys, and what we're trying to do here is to create a new medium, to bring some of these people out of the shadows and kind of force them to take a new look. Thanks, 85, for real. I appreciate it. So I'm going to take a look at YouTube. I'm going to pick a couple winners, send some shirts out, some stuff. Get a whole bunch of prizes. Jeez. I'm trying to refresh it myself so I can see the struggle. The struggle's real. But I appreciate it, everybody. I know it's hard. Let me see. Let's see if I can get there. Jeez. I'm even having trouble refreshing. So, we're going to get to the next topic because I want to kind of round this out and close the door on the Super Bowl and everything. Thank you to Dark Alliance. Dark Alliance was enough to donate engravings on that 1911, guys. That was a super, super donation on Jeremy's part. He doesn't have to do that. He certainly doesn't need the work. I know he, CJ might have. It's frozen for me, but he was kind enough to donate engravings on the 1911s, guys, and that is awesome. Awesome. So make sure your guys are always thanking Dark Alliance for that. I know one person wins, but this is what makes them do it again. And this is what makes them want to do it again. So if you go over there and you thank them at Dark Alliance and you thank them at Taurus, I can do stuff like this all the time. Please, take a minute, make sure you're thanking them. I am in. I see my comment. Okay, Joe. So let's see. And I see some people subscribing. There's some episodes that have done very well, and they're doing well. So let me just pull a random one up. So I have one comment. Let's see. 17 comments. So here go some of the more recent. I'll pick someone who's recent, just for grins. Matt, you're gonna get a shirt. Matt Cope. Hope I said it right. Matt Cope. Yeah, Cassie acknowledges how generous it is. Matt Cope's gonna get a shirt. Thank you, Matt. So I appreciate it. And the more shares you do is helpful. The more you shares. Matt Cope. And I only have one size, so you're getting either L or XL. I'm not playing the size guy. Let's see. Let me pick another random episode. I'm going to tell you what episode I'm picking. I'm going to pick a random one here. Matt Cope. I'll pick 3 or 4. So hopefully you guys are over at YouTube. This is at YouTube. And leave in the comments. thumbs ups, sharing. Daryl, you're getting a shirt. Daryl. $85 for real, you're getting one. These shirts were donated by Ghost Gunner. So if you guys get frisky, head over to Ghost Gunner and leave a comment. These are great shirts. Defense distributor, Ghost Gunner. I'm picking another one. Random. And if you take a minute, especially the winners, I would share an episode on your Facebook. If you don't know how to share an episode on your Facebook, I can show you how to do it right now on YouTube. So if you head over to YouTube, I can show you on YouTube right now how to do it. So if you want to kind of get a little tutorial, I'll do that for you. So if you go to YouTube, on YouTube, and you take a minute to say click on your favorite episode. I only have 31 views on the Super Bowl pre-show. You can click this little button that says share down here, and if you click share, you should have a pop-up. You should have a pop-up that comes up, and it'll allow you to share onto your different spaces. Or you can just copy the link. You just copy the link, open up your Facebook, and share it into Facebook. So if you do that, if everybody does that with at least one episode, it'll go a long way. So I would appreciate it, especially the winners. I mean, take a minute and share an episode onto your Facebook. I appreciate it. Let's see what we have here. The pregame. I'm going to load the pregame show one more time. Pick a winner here. Pick another winner. Trying to get a few of these winners. Let's see. Even mine's moving slow, so bear with me. Now, I'm going to try to get this deal going here. But hopefully everybody's good and everybody likes the content and everybody likes the guests and having people on in this format. But I'm trying to introduce you guys and kind of break the mold of being addicted to one platform and being addicted to one space and get you guys kind of looking at different material and get you thinking in a different way. I'm going to head over here. Let's see. Mark Rigdon. Mark Rigdon. Thanks, East Outman. I try to put as much content. The website is up. If you guys haven't checked out the website, check out the website. I'm going to make sure you guys comment on my last post done before I ship these out, because that is definitely one of the deals here. Make sure you comment done. And I'll pick a few more winners later. But the more you thank everybody, the more you participate, the more you get involved, the more I'd like to pick you as winners. So I appreciate everyone and like everybody's comments and support everybody that likes everybody's comments. That goes a long way. And we'll get this stuff out. Everything is sent out for the most part. I know Suresh had to get a few items out. Give people time. We're in the middle of like one of the worst storms and, you know, history. So give people a little time to get this stuff out. It's going to get out. Yeah, share the videos, especially the winners. You know, Mark, Matt, Daryl, Brandon, Matt. I said Daryl, Brandon, Matt, Mark, yep. Covered everybody. We'll give a few more things away in a minute. But share this stuff. So I hope you guys understand the mission. And my goal one day is to just have you guys kind of bouncing around the different platforms and have you guys having fun. and giving some stuff away. Joe, thanks for sharing. The more you share, the more helpful it is. So I appreciate it. I noticed a couple new subscribers came through, so I thank you for that. It means a lot. So the more active you are, the better. So I appreciate it. Now, if you can, tap hearts and tap the paper airplane. Invite some people in here, and maybe we'll give away one more good prize, and we'll get to one more topic that I want to get to. NRA's coming up. People are excited. People are pumped up. I want to get you guys' thoughts on kind of the NRA show, not the NRA, the NRA show, and what y'all looking for from the business, and what you expect from the business, and really where you see the firearms business going, and what your thoughts are, and what you want to see in the community. Do you want to see a Glock cut in half? Is that what you're looking for? Do you like the Glock 48? Do you like some of the stuff that's coming out? Do you not like some of the stuff coming out? You know, where's your head at with all this stuff? You know, you tired of the same old shit? Do you want some new stuff? Do you want to see more bolt action? PCC? What's up, Frank? You know, what are you looking for? I was pleased with Chacho and people showing their disapproval of the NRA. I think the NRA is a polarizing thing, CJ. I think it's always going to be that way. It's always been that way. I'd like to see some fresh faces in the NRA. I know that that's going to be something that people are, it's a little weird, but I think the NRA just needs to freshen up some of its voices. I know that Tim from Military Arms Channel has been critical of that. Tim's a friend. I think that it just needs some freshening up. Every time I walk by their booth, it was a ghost town. They have a huge booth, but it's not much of a booth presence. I'll say that. I mean, it's crazy. They're the NRA. They don't even give a hat away. And it's not all about giveaways, but shit, they don't even give a fucking hat away. I mean, that's insane. So, I think the NRA could do a better job getting some fresh faces, But it's all who you support, I like Corleone Noir. I like some of those folks. I think they're great. But I don't know if you keep them. I don't know what you do. I don't have the answer. But I just think the NRA... What's up, Johnny Targets? I just think the NRA needs some freshening up. I don't think anyone can argue with that. I think it needs some fresher marketing. It needs to do a better job putting a better voice and a face on it. I mean, I don't even know what that name is, Corleone. I don't know. I just don't... I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe I need to be educated. I'm not 100 on it all. I guess is the term everybody uses. But that's me. That's me. But I want to get you stuck on the NRA. That's a long time. Yeah, it is. I want to see the aim point acro on a PCC. I think that's a competition combo. That's how you say it, Frank. Believe it or not. That's how you say his name. And it's not his real name, but that's how you say it. Thank you for dapping the hearts. Thank you. But I'm not trying to captivate anybody, but just to give you perspective, to give you guys perspective and to explain to you that it's all who you support. It's all who you support. If you support that stuff, it's going to do well. If you don't support that stuff, it won't do well. But that's what he goes by. So, it's just one of those deals. You got to get behind the right, you got to support the right movement, the right people. I think the whole industry is ripe for a freshening up. I think that it could benefit from that a ton. I think that people need to pay long attention to who they support and who they get behind and what they do. I'm not saying any of these things are bad things. I'm just saying I think that there's a lot of room, and there's a lot of voices out there, and there's a lot of younger voices out there. I know I'm one of the younger guys that has been on the scene for a little while, and I have some experience. So, it is what it is. Hopefully, we can grow this thing, but I need your help. Lucas from TRX Arms started a conversation with Noir that I thought was a great opportunity to unify two sides of the industry. Noir really wanted zero to do with it. I don't know that conversation. I don't know. I'm not familiar with it. If you can get it to me, send it to me. I'm not super well versed in T-Rex Arms. He's got, people have opinions on him. I don't know him. And if I don't know someone, I have no problem saying I don't know him. I don't know him. I don't judge people based on how people feel about somebody on the fucking internet. And I don't know the guy. So, if what he's doing is working for him. It was on IG and it was quick and simple. I'll find it and tag you. Yeah, if you can, that'd be great. I think my take on T-Rex Arms is it's a lane thing. I think he came under heavy fire for kind of stepping out of his lane, as people put it. There was a lot of questions about whether or not he was in the right lane in terms of things he was doing and whatever. I don't get into that. It's not my place, other than maybe to say maybe there's some weight to it, maybe there's some whatever, but I don't I don't know enough about the guy. If you get a chance to, head over to the website, guys. I'd like to get your take on it. www.johnbartoloshow.com. It just went up, so I'm just kind of looking for some feedback on it. Check it out. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely the lane argument. So, good on T-Rex for trying to bring it together. He's out there, he's training. The training thing is a very short-lived thing. And, there's a lot of guys out there right now putting a lot of material out there. I'm not an instructor. I don't really fancy I've trained with a lot of people. I've had the opportunity to train with a lot of people. I've been blessed to train with some of the best in the business, and I think that gets forgotten. And a lot of times, people forget who I've trained with, where I've trained, what I've done in training. Yeah, he's one of those shoot fast guys, Cassie. But it's going to kick me off on IG. I do want to give away a couple more things on YouTube and IG. Hopefully we'll get to that. So I'm going to sign off here, sign back on, probably go another 30 minutes or so, and hopefully get you guys back on here. Take the minute to head over to YouTube, and thanks, Frank. I'm going to finish my thought on the whole shoot fast guys. So we'll bring them back up and we'll finish my thoughts on the shoot fast world. And we'll see. Visit. I'm going to push in the website here. What's up? One coming in. Yeah, if you get a chance, head over to the website. I want to get some people's thoughts. Semi-Auto Kid, your stuff is all out. It's all out. It is gone. So the shoot fast guys, quick thing on the shoot fast guys. You know, being a range hero is fun. It's down below, Joe. Being a range, check it out. Give me your thoughts. 85 for real. Check out the website. Give me your thoughts. Get your opinion. Being a shoot fast guy is cool, but that's a very short-lived life. You know, there's not a lot of fitness trainers out there that are 50 years old. I think that's good, and I think doing the shoot fast videos is good, but that has a shelf life. It's like doing mag dumps in a desert. It just gets old after a while. It just gets like, okay, like, is there anything else? Like, is there more? You know, is there more to this? We'll do one more YouTube-based giveaway. Oh, Abby, I'm sorry. Abby lost a puppy today, sorry. Is it a puppy or a full-grown dog? Every time with these dogs, I see one more of these dog commercials on Facebook. They, like, break me up. I'm, like, devastated for a month. Hopefully it was a dog and it lived a full life. Yeah, sorry, Abby. You know, you see these dog things, like the dogs that were, like, you know, left under a bridge or something, and they were, like, soaked in oil for 3 months and malnourished, and then, like, the shelter takes them in, and then they live, like, this great life with another family. You're, like, devastated. Like, your day, if you watch it in the morning, you're fucked up till noon. Like, you can't function. And I know you all know what I'm talking about, and you can act like you don't. But it's devastating. It's devastating. I've lost hours of my day to that. I like the simplicity of the website. It's a pretty good layout. Thanks, Frank. You know, that's the feedback I'm looking for. If you don't like something in it, just let me know. If you think I can add something, let me know. Semi-auto kid, John, I've been meaning to ask you, how do I feel about prepping? I'm a little bit of I have a touch of prepper. I have a touch of prepper in me. I think some guys go overboard with it. They go a little bit overboard. You know, I think prepping is a whole different culture. You know, the firearms business in the 2A community is very secular. You have the hunting, you have you know, the enthusiasts, the collectors, this, that, the trainers. There's a little prepper, I think, in everybody. And it just depends if it dominates your program a little bit. You just have to figure out if it dominates your program. Thank you for tapping hearts. Please keep doing that. You just have to figure out if that dominates your program. If you go to the Great American Outdoor Show, the GAO, you can see a good amount of preppers there that's loaded with preppers. That show, forget it. You know, it's like Prepper City down there, you know, down in Pennsylvania. That's in Harrisburg. That's this week. And it's crazy. It's one of the craziest shows you could ever go to. It's like a whole nother level. Insane. So hopefully everybody, you got to build an underground city. Yeah, at least we need them. Yeah, website looks great. I would add your picture somewhere for new followers. Yeah. It's not about me, Joe. It's about a lot of you guys. So, you know what I mean. It's just simple. I'm just trying to do a simple page that, you know, speaks to everybody. So, you know, it's just easy breezy. I don't want to make it about me. Just so you know, I was always one of the guys that I recognized my own shelf life in this business very early on. kind of like fitness. I knew that the paid sponsorship life is a very short-filled life. And while it's great, it's not a long-term plan. So, thanks, Semi-Auto Kid. Yeah, give me your thoughts. You have a graphic. I got to get that graphic from you, too. People like that graphic. I'll post that. I have to get a clean copy of it. DM that to me. So, you know, that whole like deal of prepping it's insane to see some people, the lengths they go to. Dying over here. Getting over the last touch of SHOT Show AIDS. Being sick from SHOT Show. So, my dog was not a canine. Abby, was it a full-grown dog? You didn't answer me. I'm trying to shake the thought, but I'm just hoping it wasn't a puppy. Yeah, some go to the extreme. It was a yellow lab. Full size, right? Grown, lived a life at least. I hope. I don't know, Abby. I hope. So I'm going to head over to YouTube. I'm going to pick one more winner on another winner on YouTube. So if you guys head over to YouTube and leave some comments on some of the old episodes, and make sure you tune in to some of the episodes, it's helpful. It helps a ton. So, I'm hoping everybody gets an opportunity to head over there and leave some comments and share. Okay, definitely, bro. I'm making the pics on my mobile, so it's pixelated. Yeah, you have a flair for it, bro. You're good at it. I made one suggestion to you about the graininess, that graininess of some of the photos, but you kill it with that stuff, man. It was a little critical, and you can tell me to go fuck myself, at any point. But I think you got a flair for it. A little tweaking here and there. I've gone back and forth in photography, and I'm not a photographer, but I've gone back and forth in photography of trying to be more like clean photography, like just the photo, let the photo speak for itself. John gets crazy, does a lot of my photos. It's not a secret, BCG Media. John gets crazy sometimes with the editing, and I got to calm him down. Yeah, you have a flair for it, for sure. You could be doing it for a company. A little tweaking, and you could be definitely doing it for a company, for sure. For sure. So I'm going to head over to YouTube. I'm going to head over to YouTube now. I'm going to refresh it. So if you guys haven't headed over to YouTube and watched some of the episodes, when you watch and share and do that, it helps. So, and the Podbean stuff helps too, guys. So I appreciate everybody on Podbean. I add way too much stuff. You're working on a one-day bag. I would recommend, if I was making a prepper recommendation, thanks 85 for real. If I was making a prepper recommendation, I think everybody should have a 3-day bag. I think everybody should have a 3-day bag. 3 days worth of food, water, almost overestimating it. You can put, like protein bars, ramen noodles, all the stuff you need, some blankets, some matches, some stuff. There's kits out there. You can go, rip them off. I would recommend a handgun, and I would recommend at least a rifle, and at least 200 to 250 rounds for each. That's what I would recommend for the most basic person. Jerky, all of it, Frank. All of it. And 3 days worth of water is heavy as fuck, though. Yeah, that's if you're going off like a gallon a day, Cassie. If you put a life straw in there and you put like 3 bottles of water, you could survive for like a week on that. So, tourniquet. Because if you have a firearm and you have ammo, you can pretty much get everything else. So, I would recommend a 9 and 85 for real. This is a popular one. Everybody says a Ruger 1022 takedown. If you want firepower, go in an AR, but it's going to be heavy. It's going to be heavy. Yeah. A high point. Yeah, I mean, look, semi-auto. If you can't, there's a place for everything. I'm not endorsing high points, but there's a place for everything. If you can't afford to just buy a gun that sits in a bag, but a high point's all you can afford, then fuck it. It's better than nothing, I usually recommend a secondary gun, like a revolver, like a 38. A 38 with a Ziploc baggie of rounds you can give to like your wife or your daughter or whoever, is with you. A friend, you might need a backup piece. I like Glock because like in my prep bag, I think I have a Glock 17, 19, and 26. It's all the same ammo, all the same mags. So I can pretty much strap one to me, strap up a backup piece, have my rifle, and I can give somebody another gun. You know, that's how I operate. I think about it almost like having two bags. There's what's going to be on my body, and then there's going to be everything else. And I can fit a lot on my body, a lot of ammo, a lot of stuff. So nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. So if you're building out a prep setup, and there's other guys on the internet that are really good at that survival stuff. So if you look at like IA Woodsman and other guys out there, they're really good at it. Yeah, you at least 10 or 15 years. Yeah, you can set up a bag that'll be pretty good to go for a couple of years. I have a couple of them in my storage, and I recommend a storage unit to everybody. I guess that's the prepper in me. You know, a lot of people have wives and girlfriends, and they bitch and moan about where you store the stuff or how you store the stuff and the practicality of the storage of it. I recommend, why not just go out and get a storage unit, get a small one, put some of your prep materials in there, and there you go. And there you go. I mean, you know, you can put gas in there, you can put whatever you want, or if you have a cellar or you have the ability. But if you put it in a cellar, I recommend put everything on cinder blocks so it's raised up, so in case there's any moisture, anything. Cassie loves discussing this because I can get deep into it, and it sounds invasive, but you probably need about 10 square feet in your basement or 10 square feet in your house to set this all up. You probably do semi-auto kit. We mostly overbuy because we buy with our eyes. I mean, I cleaned out and sold and gave away so much shit. And if anybody knows the shit that I have in my storage and everywhere else, I'm trying to load YouTube, by the way, and it's like taking forever. So you guys are doing a good job over there at YouTube. Appreciate it. But yeah, the prep stuff, you can go overboard with it really quick. I think I've got it dwindled down to 2 backpacks and a duffel bag is pretty much my setup. And the duffel bag is, and I use my truck vaults, the duffel bag pretty much has my gear in it. So the duffel bag goes on me, the backpack goes on me, and there's a separate backpack in case I have a number 2 that goes with me. Like a person, a number 2 person. So that's kind of where I think you got to be. But I think you got to move fast. I think speed's your friend. All my buddies have EDC and bug out bags. Most contain a Taurus G2 or some kind of 9mm. Yeah, the Taurus is great. The Taurus line is perfect for bug out stuff. And I'm not saying that to be a homer. The Taurus line of stuff is perfect. You can get a 38 revolver. You can get you know, a little handgun, a G2, like you said, and you can run with it, and it's perfect. Get a whole bunch of mags and run with that. Don't discount a revolver, you know, to just basically hand somebody and say, hey, you know, here, if somebody's with you, you want somebody to watch your back, you know, in that prepping scenario. I don't do the whole prepping like it's a zombie invasion. I do the prepping as kind of like stowing away some stuff, you know, stowing away. But you can go overboard fast with the prepping. Storing food ain't easy. Storing food's easy. When you're spending money, you want. Yeah, but you jerky and protein bars, bro. Thoughts on burying a firearm with ammo? I would definitely be burying 80%ers. If you're not burying 80%ers, you should have multiple 80%ers. Whether it's 80% lowers or milled out 80%ers, you should have 5 polymer 80 complete builds buried somewhere. That type of stuff is, I think, can be valuable later on. Having that stuff kind of, I don't know if you need to bury it, Cassie. I think people take a hard line with the burying. You know, I have a couple 80%ers is always good to go. The guns will last 20 years, 717. I mean, they won't decay or erode for at least 10. You know, you'll kind of they'll hang tight, especially a lot of the polymer-based ones. So you have some time. You have windows of time. So, you know, don't freak out. You know, you have time. Yeah, Mylar and oxygen absorbers in a bucket. Yeah, you don't need to bury them. I recommend a storage unit. If you go with a friend to like a storage unit and you put a friend's name on it, you kind of spread it around. Poly. At that point, you're just going to hope you have anything. Poly. I would definitely recommend poly. For sure. Absolutely. Absolutely, poly. So we're coming up on 1:15, and the prep conversation is a good one. Appreciate it, and I'm glad everybody checked out the website. I appreciate everybody checking it out. It means a ton. I'm excited about the week ahead. I'm going to try to go live to give you guys a little bit of the live schedule. I'm going to try to do this, all week, with the exception of Friday. Usually I don't do Friday, to get content, to get episodes up here, to get episodes up here. So all week, the sharing and everything else goes a long way. I'm still trying to load YouTube. I'm not having a lot of luck to give away another prize. Why store silver? It's not going to have any value. What's going to have value is bullets, food, and water. 717. You have to remember, if you're operating under the Armageddon scenario, silver and gold's going to be fucking useless, bro. Useless. Not to spoil your dreams. If I have a gun, I'll just take the silver from you. So you have to remember, you have to start to wrap your brain around that. I'm not saying, a lot of it, but that's weight I don't need. If you have silver and I have a gun and I'm highly trained, and I'm walking the streets and I can just take it from you. So you can start to go deeper and have a dependable car and things like that. Precious metal will always have value, but I put more of an emphasis on ammunition if we're getting into the weight debate. I would say if you have a couple bars of silver, that's not going to hurt you. Off topic, regards to Joe Rogan episode with the owner of Twitter. Everyone is pissed at him when pressing him and asking him tough questions. I thought he did great, though. I haven't seen all of it, Semi-Auto Kid. I like Joe. To me, I thought he got too high on the episode with Tyson. If you go back and watch the Tyson episode, they were blazed out of their mind. I thought that was a little much. But I thought he missed a better opportunity with Tyson. I thought that could have been an epic interview with Tyson. So I was a little pissed off at that. A little pissed off. I thought he could have killed it with him. Yeah, Tyson could have been great. They were lit. That was the highest I've ever seen Joe, even in hit it out of the park with Tyson. Because I thought Tyson would have been a great, in my opinion, and I actually had this debate. I don't want to talk about her often, but I had this debate with my girlfriend over it. I know everybody makes a big thing about MMA and this and that. Tyson destroyed everybody in our lifetime. In my lifetime, and I'm in my 30s, Tyson was the best fighter that walked the planet. We haven't seen a guy come along of Tyson's caliber in terms of fighting. To be the world heavyweight champion at 21 years old, Tyson was just ferocious. Tyson was ferocious. He was amazing. He was everything. He was a beast. He was just a straight animal. I know people get into the whole Conor McGregor thing and all that, but I don't know, man. Flow grappling match with the kid Ryan, who's like one of the best in the planet right now. And he struggled with a guy that was 250, 260. I think he won by 1 point. It was Logan Ryan. He won by 1 point. And if people think, and he's dominant. He's absolutely dominating the division. And he struggled with a guy that was 260. Now, granted, take nothing away from the guy. He was still a black belt. But he struggled with the dude. weight matters, man. It matters. Yeah, Connor is definitely a showman. Take nothing away from him, he's definitely a showman. But I think Tyson, in our lifetime, there's 3 fighters in my lifetime that were like, whoa, that totally like, you had to see them. I mean, Tyson was one of them. I still have to give it to Roy Jones Jr. I think pound for pound, Roy Jones Jr. was the best fighter of my generation. Maybe a C here better than Tyson. Roy Jones was amazing. Roy Jones in his prime against anybody. If you go back and you look at YouTube clips of Roy Jones, he just destroyed the division. He destroyed that whole light heavyweight, middle, even won a heavyweight belt. I mean, granted, it wasn't the best belt at the time. He wasn't like linear champion or anything, but he was destroying the division. He dominated. I mean, Roy Jones Jr. was the Marvin Hagler of our generation, for sure. But I think a lot of people don't understand that winning the World Heavyweight Championship at 21 years old was amazing. It was fucking amazing. And he was just, it was the way he won fights. They'd be 1 minute in and it would be over. They couldn't take the beating. And he was fighting guys 250, 260. I mean, he was just dropping them like they weren't even there. And these were trained fighters. So, Tyson, to me, I can't, you have to give it to the Gracies. You have to give it to the Gracies. Hoyce and those guys. I mean, I would put Hoyce up there for sure. What he did in those first couple UFCs was really impressive, especially after the Dan Severn fight. So give my hats off to Hoyce. I'd put him in there. But there's like a meme floating around that's like, who would you pick? My Mount Rushmore of fighters definitely has Tyson on it. Like everybody said, and it's been said 100 times, I think if you get that Tyson Holyfield fight before Tyson goes to prison, it's a different fight. The fight be over. It would be over. But I think everybody agrees with that. I think if the Tyson Holyfield fight happens before Tyson goes to prison, different fight. Holyfield gets a bad rap, but he was a great fighter in his own right. But he was essentially a lifelong cruiserweight. And he got into the heavyweight division, and nobody had his range and athleticism. And he got into it, and he just started to dominate. Mayweather is definitely a legend because of his fight stats. Yeah, Mayweather's a defensive fighter. Mayweather's a defensive guy. So Mayweather beats you by wearing you down because you just can't hit him. You just can't hit him. You can't get a punch in. So Mayweather frustrates you, wears you down, he tires you. He's a very frustrating guy to fight. So from that standpoint, Mayweather. My issue with Mayweather is it's become more show than substance. And he's picking and like what they do now, semi-auto, is they cherry pick their matches now. So, there's that. But I take nothing away from Mayweather. I wouldn't put him in my top 5. Not in my lifetime, no. It's too tough. It's too tough. I can't put him in my top 5. I just can't with good conscience do it. It's impressive what he's doing now, even at his age now, but even still winning matches and still being competitive. But he's built around defense. The fight with Conor was a great opportunity for Conor, not necessarily a great opportunity for Mayweather. What Mayweather did was he just did it to say that together, and they figure out the money piece, and they're able to really get longevity out of those guys' careers, and build somebody up and have them go on a 5 or 8 year run, which is hard to do in that sport. It's hard to do. They don't pay well. The UFC doesn't pay those guys. That's why Bellator is stealing everybody. But it's hard to put hard to put Mayweather in that top all-time category You know, when you start talking about some of these guys, I think Tyson had, you know, like one of those 8-year runs that like nobody can compare to. Do you think Mayweather is running out of money? So I took the fight in Japan. I mean, I hope not. I think he probably has a lot of money tied up in investments. I hope not. I mean, if he's making, I mean, shit, the last 5 or 8 fights, he's been making $20 million a fight. You know, I mean, I hope he's got like 10 million socked away somewhere. I don't know what his expenses are like and what it costs him to live. You know, I don't know if he's like, you know, it's costing him like $1 million a month and he's got some like ungodly expenses like that. But I know that's what kills those guys is they have like this ridiculous like monthly nut that they have to make. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's something I got to learn. I guess I got to get a car collection. But it is what it is. You know, for the most part, I wouldn't put Mayweather in that top all time. When you start to get an all time, yeah, living that baller lifestyle, I think that's, you know, maybe he's living up to an expectation. It's crazy. They have like these entourages and people on the payroll, and you know, I mean, I'm friends with a lot of high profile people, and I've seen that type of life. It blows my mind. Yeah, I mean, there's some truth to the gun thing too, right? I guess. Yeah, I mean, you can only shoot one gun, but guns are, you know, comparing a gun, a $500 gun to, you know, these guys buy $100,000 cars like they're $50. So, you know, and a car is a very depreciating asset, super depreciating. Guns aren't as depreciating, so, you know, I guess it's a different argument, you know, altogether. So I want to kind of trying desperately to load YouTube. I kind of rebooted the system here to kind of pick another winner. There's no such thing as having too many guns. So maybe so, but we'll see. But hopefully everybody had a great game, had an awesome time with family, with friends, hanging out. I'm hoping everybody, you know, had an awesome weekend. It's fun to get together with people and have the excuse to get together with people. I can't thank you guys enough for the feedback on the website, for all the feedback you've given me. There's a lot of good topics to bring up over the next few weeks. 30 of them. Yeah. It has a good few weeks. I appreciate everybody's support and everybody pushing the agenda and getting this stuff pushed out there. It's not always about the giveaways, guys. It's not always about what you can get for free. But I do want to give back. Buying into the gun ammo. How do you feel about athletes buying like Cutler with ammo? I think it's awesome. It depends. What's your criteria? I don't have a criteria, guys, for somebody that should be in the firearms business. I don't have a criteria for that. I think the more money and resources that come into the firearms business, the better. That's how I operate. I know there's guys that do lives and get up there and they're like, it has to be a veteran, it has to be this, it has to be that. Is the money green? Is the money green, or are they adding resources and are they adding to the industry? Are they contributing to the industry? Is the money green? I had heard he was. I don't know 85 for real. But I don't buy into that philosophy. You know, I just don't. And if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But, you know, isn't the goal here to get more people involved in the firearms business? Isn't the goal here to get guns in people's hands and educate them? Isn't that the goal? That's what I thought the goal was. That was my impression. I could be wrong. People could prove me wrong. But I don't see it. I like to see those guys come in. I like to see those guys have good experience. I spent some time with Jay Cutler at SHOT Show. I had the opportunity to kind of, I mean, Jay and I are friendly. I throw the friend card around, but we're friendly enough. You know, we communicate. I've known Jay for a few years. So, you know, I can get a word in with him. He's a busy guy. He's got a lot. He's got a lot going on. But yeah, I mean, I think Jay just looks for investment opportunities. He looks for opportunities to, you know, do things that he thinks will do well, and he thinks things that'll, you know, perform for him. You know, so I think that's just where Jay's at. You know, that's my opinion. So more power to the cause, right? More power to the Jay cause. So there you have it. But I don't necessarily think that it's a bad thing to have more people come into the gun business. I think that that's an awesome thing. The more the merrier. The more the merrier. That's what I say. So, you know, I'm going to check out Podbean. I can't get YouTube to load. My YouTube is moving super slow. You guys kind of crashed YouTube. That's good. It's a good thing. So on Podbean, guys, I'm trying to get a little bit more up on Podbean. If you guys take a minute, make sure you've downloaded all the episodes on Podbean. Make sure YouTube is just not cooperating with me. And if you haven't headed over to iTunes, head over to iTunes and make sure you've left a review. Hopefully everyone in here has. Hopefully you've downloaded the podcast on iTunes and you guys have, you know, taken the time to leave a review. That goes a long way. Yeah, you can usually only leave one. Well, people trying to take away our Second Amendment. Yeah, I mean, that was part of my thing, Semi-Auto Kid, with bringing the fitness side into it. And a lot of people kind of gave me a hard time for a long time about that. And when I explained it to people, I said, you know, I said it to someone. I got into a deep debate with a very largely followed account that makes holsters in the firearms business. And he made some comment like, when did it be cool to be a bodybuilder with a gun? And I said to him, so you're saying you would turn away a bodybuilder who wants to buy a holster from you? And right away, like, he blocked me, and it was like a whole thing, and he was like, that's not what I'm saying, you took it out of context, blah, 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 blah. I said, so what are you saying? How do you convert a liberal anti-gun person? I have a friend I can't even discuss the talk. You can't. Oh, fitness is incredibly important. Training is incredibly important. You know, this person was just a moron. This person was just a moron. What the fuck are you talking about? So, made no sense to me. But hopefully everybody understands where I'm coming from with it. I'm just trying to grow the community. I'm just trying to expand it into new spaces. You know, I respect everybody's role. As long as you stay in your lane, I respect everybody's role. I'm not afraid to background driven. Background. What's your background? I used to have the joke, I don't know, my background's my kitchen, some lights, I don't know. You know, I don't get it. You know, what